All right, guys, welcome back. We are now going to begin part two. Part one, we discussed leverage and tax liability. This is going to be part two. We're going to discuss tax liability and profit. We're still on the four quadrants, all right? Four quadrants. So let's begin. Tax liability. As I said earlier, the W-2 employee normally has taxes taken out about 30 to 40%. Part of the taxes that are taken out is something called tax withholding. That tax withholding is not paid directly to the IRS. As a matter of fact, depending on how the big business, the person who hired you, who's paying you for your services as an employee, depending on how that big business has their taxation, that will decide on that withholding, okay? Let me give an example. A larger business can have tax schedule of a C Corp or an S Corp, all right? And depending on how that S Corp or C Corp is set up, they can hold your taxes, your tax withholding, and they can hold it for up to maybe 2 years, sometimes even 5 years before they pay it. That is why as a W-2 employee, when you file your taxes, you get a return, normally, and then maybe you go a year later, you go back a year, you amend your previous year's taxes, okay? And you'll notice with your CPA or your accountant that all of a sudden, as you're going to amend your previous year's taxes, that your return amount is different. Why is it different? It's because the larger business has actually went ahead and adjusted the amount of withholdings of your money, okay? The beauty with the larger business is from a tax perspective, they are now able, because they're withholding that money, they're now able to reinvest it into something else within that 24-month period of time. Okay? So think about that. You work for them 40 hours a week or however long you work for them, and then they in fact take some of the money that was actually due to you, and they're now able to reinvest it for their business to grow their business. And that's one of the biggest benefits when it comes to the quadrant, all right, or the cash flow quadrant, or the four quadrants of business. Now, let's talk more about the tax liability. An investor has less tax liability, okay? Less tax liability. An investor actually is someone or a group whose primary focus is to invest initial cash or capital, but never to continuously invest, okay? The business itself, the business model is meant to generate over and over and over and over. That's why they have less tax liability. They are now able to invest across a broad of sectors or businesses to get more money over and over and over again. Your bigger business, for example, like a Coca-Cola, or better yet, a Facebook, Google, et cetera, their biggest thing is to grow, and so they're now able to acquire more businesses, okay? And as they acquire more businesses, they get more funding or returns to their investors, all right? That's why it's less tax liability. Employees take on the biggest tax liability, or the tax burden. So if you know about accounting, you know about your CPA, and we talk to them, and they'll ask you, well, what's your burden for the year? How much tax liability of your employer, of your business owner, of the investors, of the chairman, right? How much of the liability are they giving to you as the employee? And so the employees bear the brunt of the actual tax liability, all right? I hope that made sense. And in the next video, we're gonna talk about something very, very important of how the tax liability focuses or funnels into the actual profit. Thanks so much. See you in the next video.